Nah, so people are stressing us.
So please. So we're going to talk about all those things that you think are true, but they are not true. And we don't blame you for thinking they are true because like they have been passed on from generations.
Yes.
And then we'll
putting
talk
a
about
spoon in a child's mouth when the child is convulsing, because
it is normal to put a newborn baby whose eyes were noticed to be yellow under the sun as it reduces the yellowness. Myth versus fact. What's the answer?
A newborn needs just breast milk for the first 6 months of their life.
In newborns and children within the first year of life, right? There's this softness that you feel here on their head. I don't know if you've come in contact with children. So most people or a group of people put like some oils and all those things on the head.
It's a mud block
on the head to help it close up. Do you think it's a myth or a fact that those things that they put on the head helps it to close up?
Hey Lola!
Hi Jay!
What's up with the kids?
What's up with the kids?
Hey.
So today we have cooked something very nice for you.
Very interesting.
We're going to be talking about myth versus
facts.
Myth versus facts. So we're going to talk about all those things that you think are true, but they are not true. And we don't blame you for thinking they are true because like they have been passed on from generations.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about those ones that sound like big lies, but they're actually very true. Yeah. And then before we even go into that, I realized that some of you really did follow us. You liked our pictures, our videos. Okay, can you like? Yes, you liked our pictures, not our pictures, our videos. We're very grateful for those of you that did that.
Thank you.
For those of you that did not do that,
what's your problem?
I will not want you to.
Why?
Today, I mean,
You're not a good person, no.
I'm the soft.
Lola, you're soft today. Okay.
So I'm not going to warn you people. We'll just go straight to giving you the tea.
But you know yourself, don't do that next time. Make sure you like and
sorry, don't be angry.
Okay, I'm cool too. I'm cool.
All right. So Jay, help us. What do you have on your list for us today?
Okay, so number one myth that I'm talking about, or we're going to talk about today, it's a myth surrounding convulsion. And I know many of us are inside this category because we do a lot of things when we see a child that is convulsing. So one of it is putting a spoon in a child's mouth when the child is convulsing, because you heard somewhere that once the teeth jam like trailer, the person don't die. That is not true. Putting spoon or any object in the child's mouth has bad complications because it can cause the child to aspirate, like taking saliva back into the throat, to the lungs. And there was this child that I saw. They advised the child that the child was convulsing. And when they brought the child was already turning cyanosed, pale blue. And I was almost thinking that the child was almost dying or even dead. So I was like looking, there was no chest movement, no sign of life in the child. And I was just confused. I said, what's happening? Only for me to see that they had dipped a big spoon inside the child's throat, like even closing the airways where the child had to breathe. So we just removed the spoon and the child was not able to regain breathing. So guys, when a child is convulsing, you don't put spoon, you don't put onion. Some of you will cook stew on top of that child's body. You would massage the body with oil and everything. That's not what you do. That's not. So the myth of putting onions and spoon in the child's mouth and onion in the child's eye when the child is convulsing, let's end it today with this video. It's not possible.
There was even one I noticed that, in case, convulsion now, in case you don't know, convulsion is that thing that happens to children that will just be shaking. I know nobody plans, it just happens unexpectedly. I saw one where it happened, and because there was no spoon around, they put their finger.
Should they bite them?
It's supposed to move their hand and very dangerous because you can cut it off. You can cut off. How do you want to pull out the finger? How do you want to because at that time the teeth just clenches on it. That's after you finally find a way to remove the relative's hand from child's mouth. You now start treating the relative, treating the wound, giving tetanus and all those things. So yes, please, It's a big myth. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. Putting things in the mouth. If the teeth should clench, the child will not actually die. If the child does that, it's just part of the symptom. Some of you even go as far as putting the child in fire so that the convulsion will stop. We just do more harm than good. So that's a very big myth.
So, hello. What's next?
This one, I'm going to throw it to you people to see if you guys are catching up with the trend.
Okay.
Myth or fact. So, it is normal to put a newborn baby whose eyes were noticed to be yellow under the sun as it reduces the yellowness. Myth versus fact. What's the answer?
1, 2, 3.
Time up. What's the answer?
It's a myth.
A big myth. It's a very big myth. The sun does not do anything to reduce the yellowness from the eye. That yellowness from the eye is coming from something that is going on inside the body, inside the blood. And usually the treatment is that they will admit the child and put the child under a special light. I'm sure some of you have seen it, that blue light in newborn. And that's why I don't know who told you that just keeping the child under the sun.
Like Simba. Is it Simba being Mufasa? Which one?
No,
This is a
newborn.
Yeah, like one sacrifice out to the sun god. You know,
but it won't do anything for the child. You will just roast that child under the sun.
People are stressing us.
So please, it's called jaundice, right? And it doesn't cure jaundice. So please come to the hospital so that we help you to treat the jaundice.
Yes, that's a nice one.
Big myth.
So let's talk about one fact now, right? We're talking about 2 myths. So let's talk about the facts now, and which is a newborn needs just breast milk for the first 6 months of their life. You know, it's the breast milk contains all the nutrition that you have, like the baby possibly needs for that first 6 months of life. So there's no need for you to start adding water, adding zobo, adding soya milk, all those things inside their diet.
Give our babies pepper soup.
you know, and some of them will tell you that the child is thirsty. And you see the child is hot. The child is thirsty, the child needs water. I don't know. So please, breast milk is the only milk, it's the only thing your child needs to survive for the first 6 months of life. And it's a fact, and I want you to know that. So when you go for your antenatal the next time, or you see a woman that is breastfeeding, allow her to breastfeed and encourage her to give her child only breast milk, because that's what you need.
And breast milk it's not even like it's juice that it's okay. Maybe after drinking juice, you want water to push it down. It will go down by itself.
Yes.
Please. So that's a very good fact. Yeah. Then I'm going to throw another question at you people.
Okay.
I'm an
You are ready for them?
Yes, and you will answer questions. So now this is another one. In newborns and children within the first year of life, right? There's this softness that you feel here on their head. I don't know if you've come in contact with children. So most people, or a group of people, puts like some oils and all those things on the head.
It's a mud block
on the head to help it close up. Do you think it's a myth or a fact that those things that they put on the head helps it to close up?
5 seconds.
Time up. It's a big myth.
A big one.
A very big myth. I've seen palm kernel oil. I've seen this cocoyam paste. That they make with cocoyam and this herbal leaf. I've seen, what have I not seen? Even toothpaste. Even toothpaste. If toothpaste could cover that hole, don't think it will block our
I know, right? That's a smart one.
That's all those things there. The soft spot is normal. It's okay. That's how the child is born. It's to give the brain space to grow.
Expand.
You understand? If that place was locked, the brain would probably not grow as it should.
Yes.
So on its own, whether you do anything or you don't do anything, it's going to close when the time is right.
Yes.
So please, leave the center of our baby's heads alone.
I hope we learned that one today. So that's a very good one. So the final myth of the day that I'm going to bring to
What
you.
have you told them is the final
Oh,
myth? Do not know that the
sorry,
next time
sorry.
tell them is the fact.
Sorry.
Tracy Expo.
Sorry. No. sorry, Lala baby. Sorry,
Go ahead,
guys. So this fact, okay, this one. So this myth now we're going to talk about is that connection with cold and pneumonia. I know some of you are like amazing diagnosticians. People are doctors with like very, very good degrees. But guys, cold and cold drinks does not cause pneumonia. Sometimes, sometimes when you're seeing a patient or the parent, and you tell the parent that this your child has pneumonia, I say, hey, doctor, look at cold don't enter in body.
The breeze will blow. Yes, even me, I feel am.
You see, and then my daughter, she'd always dey leave the window open. I don't tell her, say, make sure they leave this window open. Now, cold. I say,
Thank God, say I no get AC. If I get AC, I for do one.
Hey,
Get AC. If you have the money, please buy AC. Make it not kill you.
What you just need is good ventilation. In fact, poor ventilation even is one of the risk factors for pneumonia because you don't have good exchange of air. The child is just breathing in and breathing out pathogens.
Circulating the air.
Yes. So please let your rooms or wherever you're keeping your child be well aerated and know that pneumonia is not caused by cold. What causes pneumonia is actually an organism, or it can be different types of organisms. Infection. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Organism. But you know, say people too like infection. Anything they say, doctor, my child get infection. I say, but pneumonia is caused by by an infection. So it's not cold. It's not cold water that is causing pneumonia. They say, my child is sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
So
cold now enter the chest.
No,
it's not cold, it's an infection. And that's why we treat it well, run tests, you know, and all those things. Yes, so it's good to know that. Now, finally, I'm still going to ask you the question whether you like it or not. Some of you will still feel it even after the expo.
No, why now? What are you trying to say that people don't know something? I know you forget it. No,
Okay, so you know this thing that happens, you it's not like you wanted it to happen like that too, but it just happened that you were still breastfeeding your child and then you fell pregnant. Consciously, unconsciously.
It's consciously. This one is pregnant unconsciously.
So some people say that if a woman who is currently pregnant with a baby, if she's feeding her child, I hope you have gotten the picture. She's pregnant, but she still has probably an 8-month-old child that she's breastfeeding. So they say that if she breastfeeds the child while pregnant, the one that she's carrying in the womb is going to die. Hi, this is your reaction. they know the answer. It's not true. It's a big myth. It's a big myth. Yes, I understand why you would not want to probably do the full breastfeeding cycle. Or some people after exclusive breastfeeding, they just really start like reducing how much of breast milk they give the child when they are pregnant with another child. Probably because of the strain on their body. Imagine the woman is not pregnant for twins or triplets and breastfeeding another child. It may not be easy for her. But it does not mean that breastfeeding your child that you're carrying on your hand while pregnant will cause you to lose the child in the womb.
It's not right. It's not true.
It's not true. It's not true. Use your full chest. If you don't want to give the pikin milk, say you don't tire. Just say it. Nobody's going to castigate you because we know it's not easy. Just tell us that, doctor, this thing is not easy. What can I do? But not to go around and be saying things that making other people afraid.
Yes. And just to add to that same myth, and I'll tell you that the one that actually breastfeeding, if that one falls sick, they'll say it's because the mother is pregnant and they are breastfeeding the infant. Do you understand? So if the infant falls sick,
they'll say it's because of the pregnancy
that caused the infant to fall sick, that the breast milk is
contaminated.
God.
There's another one.
Yes, another one.
That the first milk that comes out from a mother's breast is contaminated. That's another lie, a big fat lie. The milk is that color, show you how nutritious
it is,
how beautiful and succulent that milk is.
Yeah.
So please, some of them even like express it and throw it away.
Yeah. So let me tell you, there's this woman, just a short one. There's this woman. The child was in the neonatal unit. The child was very sick, very sick. The child had asphyxia, very, very sick. So the woman just came out from nowhere and told us that her breast milk is bad. Hey, guys, that's another thing. Breast milk doesn't get breast milk cannot be bad. You understand? The one that is coming out from your breast directly cannot be bad or infected or poisonous. The woman came and told us that her breast milk is bad. And because she's giving her sick child the breast milk, that's why the child is still sick. That she wants to go to the village so that they would cleanse her and cleanse the breast milk, and so that the child will recover very well. And I said, okay, why would you, what else again will you say that is supporting it your claims? She said that she kept her milk outside. Then she now saw ants around it, and the ant entered inside the milk and died. so as the ant entered the milk and died, that means the baby too will die. And I say, hey,
Can ants swim?
I don't know. How can they say? Of course, now the milk is there, so they'll be stuck inside and they can't come out, so they'll definitely die. So the woman is,
Please,
try to talk to
it's
the
more
woman.
common than you think. It's more
Yeah.
common than you think, especially with the influence of our grandparents and stuff like that. Tell you that the breast milk is bad and everything. It's not bad. Just the one directly from your breast like this is
No.
fine. When you can start talking about whether the milk is good or not, is it maybe you stored it out and you did not store it
Yes,
well,
in the temperature.
and we say okay, the temperature was not good, throw it away. But direct like this,
Breast milk can even last up to 1 year, sir, when it's well stored.
we're giving them too much.
Oh, I'm giving
too
them
much juice. Too much juice.
That's
This
right.
milk has finished.
Okay, guys. So that is all, right?
That's all for today.
That's all for today. So
Please don't forget, like, subscribe,
yes,
share,
yes,
comment,
yes,
pay people to follow
and
us.
turn on the notification button, so that anytime we release new content,
You will
you
know.
would know. We're not taking all this stress to bring all this educational content to you, so that you're not easy to do anything.
They don't even know if we'll do giveaway. We'll do exam in the future.
Don't spill too much gist.
And people that pass, we give them dollars. They don't know.
So, guys, thank you so much. Stay glued to our channel. We have so much things to do.
Yeah. So that's all today on
What's up with the kids?
Catch you next time.
Bye.